welcome back. My name's Andrew Keeping, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the T20, the new microphone scissor arm by TONOR. They've upgraded this and they've said that they've made it much more heavy duty, and it lends itself really well to working alongside the Blue Yeti Nano and the Snowball Ice and many other microphones that are very popular with YouTubers in today's market. So why don't we dive in and just see how good this is? Let's unbox this. So on first inspection, I have to say the packaging comes very sturdy. As you can see, it's difficult even to get out, and that means that when it's been in transit, it hasn't been thrown about so much. Really sturdy packaging, which always bodes well. In the packaging, you have the boom arm itself, which is the last thing I can get out. You have the desk clamp, a microphone clip, a 3/8 inch to 5/8 inch adapter, which is excellent. I'll go into that in a little bit. You have the pop filter, and the pop filter helps prevent sibilances like the p, t, f, h, s, all those sort of plosives. You have a foam cover if you need it for your microphone, and you have 4 cable ties. Now, actually, that's quite a useful little accessory, and I admire them for doing that, because sometimes the cable ties, if you haven't got cable ties, the microphone cable does knock that boom on. And if it's of a metal construction, you get the rattling of the springs sometimes, or it might vibrate against the metal arm. So actually, I think that's a really good and thoughtful accessory. Well done. You get the manual as well, which is pretty self-explanatory, and you have this after-sales card, which gives you a warranty as well. So, you know, fair play to them for that. Obviously, a confidence in their product. It's made of steel. It weighs about 1.8 pounds with a maximum horizontal and vertical length of 27.6 inches. That's 700 millimeters. It has a full 360 degrees rotational angle and a maximum support weight of 4 pounds. That's 1.8 kilograms. Now, as is a standard thread, it's a 3.8 inch thread, but it does have this adapter, the 3.8 female to 5.8 male adapter, which is included. Now, this for me is one of the real clinchers of this suspension arm. I know you can go out and you can buy one yourself, but the fact that it comes with it is, again, it shows they've really made some good choices. And in this, it allows me to use any of my microphones. Now, I've tested this on the Rode NT5s with their small diaphragm condenser microphone with the cradles that come with that package. I've tried it with my Michael Jolly mods, which are some of my favourite microphones, and particularly great microphones for vocals and for dialogue. I think those are fantastic. I used it with my AKG C414s. You know, we all know about that industry standard microphone. But again, the cradle of those are very, very good, and the plastic modelling of that, and that just adapts nicely. But it's quite a heavy package when you put all of that together. But it didn't bother it at all. One thing I did notice when I was using some of the smaller microphones, like the small diaphragm microphones, I tried it on my DPAs 406s and the 4090s. I tried it on my Shure MK5s. I used it on a TONOR Q9, which I've reviewed before, and also a 5 So I've tested on a lot of different microphones. And what I did notice, when I used their holder for the dynamic microphones, there was a bit of plastic that a bit loose at the bottom. So that hadn't been tested before it came out. It's not a big deal. It's just, I'm picking at holes here. I noticed that when the arm was fully extended with the lighter microphones, it would sort of bounce up. It needed that extra weight. But at my table where I'm working, I wouldn't have the microphone fully extended, so that is irrelevant on this. But there are those that might need that. So if you're going to use some of these really heavy microphones, like the very popular Blue Yeti and the Nano and the Snowball and various other microphones like that, they're heavy microphones with these built-in audio interfaces. The Samsung G-Track Pro as well is another example. Some of these bases really pick up quite a lot of noise from the keyboard if you're a gamer, or if you're doing a podcast and you're using your mouse and you're working while you're talking. It picks up those rumbles, those frequencies, knock the table and you hear it. Whereas using one of these microphone boom arms really helps you to avoid those extra noises, those clicks and those little noises that interfere with the overall sound of your work. So having a microphone boom arm, suspension arm, that can actually take the weight and hold it in place is a real bonus, without a doubt. So one of the reasons this is a definite upgrade and a much more heavy-duty construction is due largely to the upgraded desk clamp. Now, how have they upgraded it? Well, this octagonal, much more sturdy base unit has a pad underneath, a bit of foam, which I think is a good touch because I've always used foam to absorb the sounds and the extra vibrations that frequently come from a table that you're working at. And this absorbs that quite nicely. Now, underneath, you've also got the clamp around the table, which is up to a 60 millimeters or 2.3, 2.4 inches. And that clamp size allows you to be able to put it flush against the table for a greater security. Then with the clamp underneath, it's a screw clamp. They could have added an extra bit of foam or plastic underneath because it's just a metal cup, if you like, that just clamps underneath the table. That could have been a little bit more. I do, however, like the extended piece of metal underneath the table, which allows you the accessory of having the desk clamp with a headset hook, so you can put your headphones and attach those underneath. That's a nice little touch as well. So what is the competition out there? I've seen people using Neewer and such like microphone boom arms, and these are definitely on the cheaper end. If it's your first time, then great. I did a review a while ago by TONOR of their Q9 microphone, which came packaged with their own boom arm. And I was full of praise of that as an entire package, to be able to put a microphone and a boom arm together in one group at that sort of price range. Check it out if you got the chance. That was excellent. But this boom arm is definitely an upgrade on that. And that is simply because they've taken the advice, they've listened to what the complaints were or the issues were, and they've taken it on board, and they've done a great job on it. So you can buy cheaper microphone stands and microphone arms. I've bought in the past cheaper ones, but found that after a few months, they've weakened. The grips on them and the springs seem to get a little bit too jangly, and they vibrate with the noises, and you pick up all extra sort of sounds and noises and jingles and jangles that you don't want to be listening to when you're doing a podcast, or you're doing a voiceover for a YouTube video, or you're playing with your mates on a game and yet they're hearing all these rattles and niggly things. I like to be able to have my hands free, and so therefore the microphone boom arm is excellent. You've also got the other better quality pieces of equipment like the Rode PSA-1 or the Blue Compass, but then that's a higher price range too, and you're paying for a much better engineered product at the end of the day. But when you look at the price range of this, I think you are getting some very good engineering for your money. Okay, so what's my overall summary of this product? I love it. I think it's really good. It's not screaming the quality and the detailing and the feel of the higher products like the Rode, but it's a different price point. And if you want something that's really good quality, I don't think you can match this at this price range anywhere on the market. That's me putting it out there at the moment. The reason that I love it so much is because I can put any one of my microphones on this cradle, on this boom arm, and extend it out so that I have the flexibility to be able to work on my keyboard, work on my mouse and anything without that noise rattling in the background. I haven't got the jangling sound of the springs if I move it in the middle of a podcast or in the middle of an interview or something like that. So having this flexibility is just what I need. Being able to have the extending pop filter to get rid of the sibilances, brilliant, love that, and I like the connection. What could I recommend if they were going to improve it any further? I would absolutely say try and manufacture into the base, a locking device so that you can lock the arm or at least slow it down, something to tighten that bass movement so the arm doesn't swing around so freely in that area. I think that would be absolutely something that could improve this. And maybe on the clamp underneath the table, yes, you can just put a bit of foam on it, but if they had a bit of rubber onto that lower clamp, I think that would be something else that would be good. Apart from that, I think I strongly recommend this to you. I'm going to be using it, and that says it all really, doesn't it? If you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful, then I'm really glad of that. If you haven't, well, I'll try harder next time. But in the meantime, please subscribe. Say thank you by putting a thumbs up. And I look forward to hearing from you to let me know what sort of products would you like some reviews on, some advice, any help at all. I'm here to help you. So please do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. All the best. Bye.